the longest in its class for a mid-size mini Wagoneer. Furman Jeep gives us the 2023 Grand Cherokee L Summit in Rocky Mountain Pearl. And through this review, I'm going to show you why the L is the best third row, not just for interior space, for towing capacity, fording through water, rivals like Nissan Pathfinder, Mazda CX-9, Kia Telluride. Because this is going to be the longest, it's also going to have the most interior space. Is it going to be the most luxurious, the most tech rich? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details, starting now. The new Grand Cherokee L Summit has the best ground clearance, and you can see it with me standing next to it at 6'3". The dang thing is a giant with ground clearance up to 10.9 inches, fording through water at 24 inches, which none of the rivals can do. LED headlamps and daytime running. The 7-slot grille is going to be a little bit more sleek, a flat hood, LED fog lamps. You get the grille pattern on the whole lower trim with the gloss black. The fenders push out just a little bit more squared off with a multi-spoke 20-inch alloy wheel, air suspension with a short and long arm in the front, multi-link in the rear, quadra-track, 2 4-wheel drives with select terrain system. The length is the longest at 204.9 inches, which is over 15 inches longer than your standard Grand Cherokee. It's over 5.5 inches longer than the Mazda, 8 inches longer than the Kia, and nearly 7 inches longer than the Nissan. To me, this is a mini Grand Wagoneer. Wheelbase 121.7 inches, which is nearly 7 inches more than your standard Grand Cherokee. Electronic limited slip differential rear axle, adaptive cruise control, active lane management system, full speed forward collision warning, plus surround view camera system, parallel and perpendicular park assist with stop blind spot and cross path detection, side distance warning, pedestrian cyclist emergency braking, intersection collision assist system, active driver assist system, drowsy driver detection, the black side steps by Mopar. You have the American flag by your Grand Cherokee on both of the front door panels. The satin aluminum trim starts on your side view mirror cap, and then it works itself all the way on the top, going on the lower around your rear window, which is more oval shaped. So it gives a little bit of a dimension to it. A lower roof spoiler, LED wraparound tail lamps, the best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload. You get the grille pattern, and the tow package is covered up. Spare tire tucked underneath the floor, power lift gate. Payload starts at 1,632 pounds and it goes up to 1,976 pounds. Cargo is at 17.2 cubic feet. You have some storage here, and when you open up here, you'll have everything for your spare tire. A storage tray here, power adjustment for the second and third row with a 12-volt, and you just split fold the rear bench just like that at a 50-50 split, increasing the cargo to 46.9 cubic feet. Split fold the second row, 84.6 cubic feet maxing. This is going to be not the best in class that will go to the Kia Telluride, but you know, we got the 3.6 liter. We need to start it up so we could hear that exhaust note. And they back the performance with a 3.6 liter V6 producing 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque that's paired to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 18 to 25 mpgs. That's good for a 0 to 60 around 8 seconds. Quarter mile at 16 seconds. The 3.6 liter will be the slowest in the category. The Nissan Pathfinder will take the cake, then Kia, then Mazda. It's also slower in the quarter mile. It's not going to be the best in gas consumption, and it's not going to be the best in performance numbers. That would go to the Kia for horsepower. It's the least performance in your pound-feet of torque. But when you want an everyday drive that is a little bit more optimal in gas consumption, instead of getting a V8, you really have to either look at this or the 4xE. And if you want something that has a little bit more of an exhaust note, then you go for this or the V8. A miniature Wagoneer is the way that I see it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 Grand Cherokee L Summit. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Grand Cherokee L Summit with the running boards, just gives you a fun little step up. Headroom at 39.8 inches, legroom 41.3 inches. The Summit gets Napa leather 16-way power seat adjustments, heated, ventilated with the Summit badging, massage with over 5 different massage movements. The dashboard gets the wood inlays, the contrast stitching. The passenger gets their own screen. It's also touch to ride. You can do the navigation, you can do your camera, AM, FM, HDMI, Amazon Fire, and you can zoom in to see anything to make sure no one's stealing anything out of the back. You can also do your forward and rear facing camera so you can see if you're going off the trail or you're just trying to make sure you're not going too deep in the water. 10.1 Uconnect 5 with your navigation. We have the pinch, you got the swipe. Click into your vehicle settings here. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Click into your off-road page. Here you can see the vehicle dynamics, your gauges, your pinch and roll, your select terrain, and when you change it, you'll see it changes the configuration in the gauge cluster and also your infotainment screen. Switch it to reverse. You have your 360-degree reverse camera with full trajectory. You can click onto the different camera icons here to make it even more easy for your reversing. You also have all your sensor functionality in the gauge cluster. We have the night vision set up. You can change and configure this however you like. So it is all digital reader. I do like how user-friendly it is because every single thing is just a couple clicks away. Going through an array of information for the driver, you will also receive your navigation here in the gauge cluster, or you can do your off-roading page to change everything with your audio sound system. Heads-up display, you'll have the leather wrap for the dashboard with the contrast stitching, dual climate control settings, a lot of button functionalities. Open this up, and you got your wireless charging pad and so many charging ports. This vehicle's more than a house. You have 2 USB-C and A with the HDMI and a 12 volt. Working down, your driving mode select to raise and lower the height and to put it into drive or reverse. Cup holders, a 16.9 ounce fits without any issue. I would say you could easily fit a 32 ounce without any issues. It's going to be more soft to ride. Open up inside and you'll have a little bit of storage for the first tier. The second tier, deepen out. Going onto your 3-spoke steering wheel, you'll get the wood and you'll get that gloss with the leather wrap. It's heated, multi-function with the paddle shifters. The wood brushes into the door panels and the soft materials just carry on through this area with the diamond stitch, and for your elbows, one touch up and down for the windows. It's a long storage. Premium stereo is a standalone option. 9-speaker Alpine stereo is available on the limited trim, which is what we have in speaker setup. 19-speaker Macintosh is only available on the Overland and the Summit. Digital rear view mirror, and where it's stationed is right here. For the second row, I'm at 39.9 inches of headroom. 39.4 inches of legroom. I fit without any issues at all at 6'3". Now for the third row, if you're sitting in this side, it's going to be a little bit tight, but it's still going to be the best in class because this is also longer. You can recline these seats, which I can still fit in the back. It's going to be super tight, but 2 adults my dimensions can still do it if somebody's rude. Sliding it all the way up, where it's gonna be a little tight for me here makes it where I can sleep back there. And if I put it in the middle, this is a happy medium for both us in the center and them in the third row. Your dual climate control settings for the back seat, heated rear seats, 2 USB A and C with a home plug, storage behind both of the front seats, and you'll have harder materials, but it also comes up a bit so you have a little lip here. Cup holders, 20 ounce will fit without any issues. You can put a large cell phone, open up inside, and it's a deep storage pocket, which is also nice and soft. For the door panel, you'll receive your manual sunshades, soft materials with the wood inlays, diamond stitch pattern, soft for your elbows, one touch up and down for all your windows. Pretty long storage pocket, it's just not so deep and wide. Entering inside, the third row is actually going to be the best in class. 37.3 inches of headroom, 30.3 inches of legroom. You do sit more inwards, but a nice thing here is you have your own center console that you can put storage right here. Plus, we have cup holders on both sides with a USB A and C port and your air vents. So you're taken care of even in the third row with the large window. I don't actually feel like I'm in a third row. Taking the 2023 Grand Cherokee L Summit out for our test run, 3.6 liter V6 with 290 horsepower, and still the motivation, because this is so long, around 8 seconds. Quarter mile, around 16 seconds. It's going to be the slowest, and it will be able to conquer some off-roading capabilities though. So that is something that is cool, because you have ground clearance that's nearly 12 inches. You could ford through water around 2 feet. That is insane for a luxury vehicle. And I say luxury because the interior is a miniature Grand Wagoneer when you're at this price point. The hood is very long. The steering wheel is also wider, so it makes you realize that this thing is a lot longer than your regular Grand Cherokee. And you do feel it in the pedal. Give her a little go. You get that exhaust note. In sport mode, it is a little bit more lively. When you push the throttle or the gas pedal, it will go more to a higher RPM, very similar to the CX-9, which I feel that's a little underpowered. It does have a good horsepower torque ratio. It just, when you do a Turbo 4, it can be a little tough. Here, you're gonna be hitting 3 RPMs pretty much on all perimeters. If you put it into auto, you're not gonna hear the engine as much. Everything's dual pane windows, so they have cleaned that up. Ride comfort, I got the massage seats on. It's no joke, it's comfortable. Technology, they take care of you with that. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this Grand Cherokee L. The 3 things that I like about the vehicle is you still have capabilities to take this off-road. You're obviously not going to be doing a lot of that because this is more of a on-road orient vehicle. But you can still ford through water. None of the rivals. I mean, with the Nissan Pathfinder, yeah, you could get the Rock Creek and probably do a little bit of maneuverability, but this thing's gonna outdo it because the ground clearance is nearly 11 inches. Turn radius at a stop point is gonna get about 2 lanes. We're gonna give her a little go. Maneuverability is pretty good, even though it's a longer and wider vehicle. You get up with traffic without too many issues. The air noise does filter in a little bit more so as you get up to a higher speed. And the steering wheel has some weight to it, so you can feel every imperfection, which is a good thing. You have the response in the steering. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is where this digital camera is placed. They put it right, more or less, stationed where the bumper is. So if someone's behind you, it's not gonna look like they're about to hit you. The last thing that I like about the vehicle, you have more charging ports in this vehicle than, I would say, a 2-bedroom apartment complex. It is crazy. They give you 4 in the front for USB, 4 in the second row, 4 in the third row. There's only 2 occupants per row, and they just go above and beyond. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle. This is a heavier variant than all of the rivals. This is the longest and it has the least power. It does get up and go. it's not gonna feel so sluggish unless you drive it in your everyday mode. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle, it's the most noisy. The last thing that I dislike about the vehicle is the grille. I still look at it as if it's a Dodge Durango. Let's rock and roll. It's hard to complain about this vehicle, even though there is a few things you can nitpick, just because you're getting so much inside it. It's so tech driven. You have your night vision, heads up display. You can still see it with polarized glasses. It's not going to be as potent, but just everything around it wrapped with leather, Napa leather seats. Anytime it's massaged and heated and ventilated seats, it's always a plus, because when you get into a luxury vehicle, that's what you really want. You will have a lot more technology in this than all of the rivals. You will not be able to receive massage seats in any of the rivals. You'd have to step up your game to an Infiniti or a Mercedes, Audi, or BMW, in which this wouldn't necessarily be in class. The nice thing also is this slots in as a discounted Wagoneer. So if you are not quite at an $80,000 to $100,000 price point and you like the Wagoneer, you can do everything from that in this size of a vehicle, because that one can be a little bit longer. It's also a little bit wider and taller. Both of them are very easy to drive. That one's going to consume more gas. Comparing this against the Nissan, smoother ride in this, air suspension, it's going to be smoother than the Mazda and the Kia. Also the most interior space for your leg and headroom, a larger pano moonroof than the Nissan, because when they refreshed the Nissan, they took out the third row area for your pano moonroof, so you lose leg space and head space in that vehicle, in which this one would be the best practical car for an everyday drive and for a large family. I like to thank Furman Jeep for giving us this 2023 Grand Cherokee L Summit for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video, the subscribe button, check out the Instagram, the merchandise, and the website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.